New Orleans can be a wild place even on a slow day, and I speak from a measure of experience here. So you can only imagine what it's like on this weekend with the Super Bowl today and Mardi Gras right around the corner.
Yeah, I want to hear more about your experiences in New Orleans.
I shouldn't have said that.
But right now, we're going to talk about the football game. If you're going to tour the Big Easy, you may as well do it in style. And if you're Josh Elliott, take a couple of friends along for the ride. Josh, you got a couple of friends you left here in New York.
I know, and I'm sorry. Actually, I want to hear much more about Dan's experiences here in New Orleans for a later date, Dan. But yeah, look, I was lucky enough to tag along with my man Sam and our pal Robin Roberts as she made her homecoming here to the Gulf Coast. And as we hit the town, look, there's no one better to show it to you than the man who virtually owns it, the one, the only, Emeril Lagasse.
I figured if we're going to really hit New Orleans for the big game, we needed to recruit the biggest man in town.
If there's a better man to be driving you around this town, I don't know.
Bam!
Lagasse, here!
Emeril Lagasse, who's called the Crescent City his professional home for over 30 years.
So what was your first job here, Emeril? 1982.
My first job is I took over Commander's Palace.
And that's a pretty famous little spot.
That's a famous spot. I worked for the Brennan family. They're still my family. I just fell in love with the city and the people and the food, of course.
Sam and I were beat from a long day of travel, so Emeril gave us a lift to Café Du Monde to grab some coffee and beignets. And along the way, he showed us his New Orleans. Shockingly, there was a lot of talk of food.
This place is pretty famous here for muffalottas. The place that we just passed probably has some of the best cheeseburgers. People take food here so serious. They're eating lunch and talking about where they're going to have dinner.
And of course, you can't forget the music.
This spot right here at Marion, this is tons of music. Like you just heard Kermit?
Yeah.
That's tons of music will be happening there.
And with the whole city decked for both the Super Bowl and the annual Bacchanal of Mardi Gras, the streets are packed.
Here, how about
But enough about that. I had other priorities.
The recipe for what ails you?
Thank you.
It's coffee and beignets.
There we go.
Established in 1862, 151 years, and this is all we serve.
My craving satisfied, Emeril insisted there was more to New Orleans life than delicious, delicious beignets.
What?
Last but not at all least, we followed M to one of his many New Orleans eateries, Nola, where we dug into what can only be described as not just any chicken wing.
Don't be afraid. I'm a little afraid. Don't be afraid. All right. And then it's just... Don't tell me that's not a good chicken wing.
Well, I've lost my audio, but I will tell you guys, Emeril Lagasse, he owns this town. We couldn't walk 5-6 feet without having somebody run, hug, and thank him for just being him. It was terrific. What a day. And if you think it all ends with the Super Bowl folks here, you're wrong. Mardi Gras, literally days away. Who are we kidding? As Dan Harris can actually ably report, it's Mardi Gras 365 days a year. Who are we kidding?
That is true, and I can sense Josh is already angling for an assignment, a return assignment to New Orleans.
That city is so special. I don't blame him.
Exactly. Josh, great tour. Thank you very much.